All right, so we've got three games to talk about today on this June the 18th, and one involves Seattle, where we're going to be laying a big price on a pitcher who just got beat up by this Baltimore lineup a week ago. And in Texas, you've got two righties on the mound. The only problem is just one of these lineups can actually hit right-handed pitching. And in Kansas City, the better pitcher is laying a decent enough price, but's facing a lineup that's been one of the best in baseball over the last couple of weeks. Hey, it's Joe Raineri, WagerTalk.com. Welcome in to another edition of First Five. Let's dive into game number one, Globe Life in Texas, because that's where you got two right-handers on the mound. And both these teams have played well recently, but the Twins have been crushing right-handed pitching for the better part of 2 weeks now. Texas, not so much. And to make matters worse for the Rangers, they're going to have to go up against Joe Ryan and his 3.17 ERA and his underlying metrics that say he's even better than that. Just look at what he can control. The strikeouts, the walks, giving up home runs. Those numbers tell us that he's a way better pitcher than the market realizes. He's missing bats at a high rate. He's barely walking anybody. Every layer of his underlying numbers tells us the same thing. He's been pitching better than what his ERA shows. Now, Jack Leiter on the other side, he's got an ERA closing in on of around 5. He's given up nearly 4 walks per 9, and his underlying metrics are just a little bit better than his ERA, but not enough to change the perception of what kind of pitcher he is right now. And that's basically a back-end rotation profile that often comes with a ton of traffic on the base pass. So we have an ace against a back-end rotation arm. Now, the lineup matchup is the kind of thing that you want to look at when looking at first fives, especially at this price point, because over the last couple of weeks, Minnesota is the third best lineup in baseball against right-handed pitching. Buxton, Caratini, Royce Lewis, all crushing the ball over the last week. Texas, over that same time frame, dead last in baseball. They're scoring barely 3 runs a game. So through 5 innings, I get the better arm with the better lineup, and certainly I'm going up against a team that has a worse right-handed pitcher and can't hit my ace on the mound. This is a real starting pitching edge, and the lineup makes that edge even better. And the first 5 is where I want to be because I don't trust either bullpen here. So to me, Minnesota at the first 5 opened up around -1 to 40. That's the way I'm leaning here. I would play it up to -150 because I think Joe Ryan is marketably a better pitcher here in this spot from Minnesota. Now, in game 2, we'll head to Seattle, where Brian, just gave up 7 earned runs to this same Baltimore lineup last Wednesday. He's being priced at around -155, 160 as an open. The contact quality basically matches what his ERA is. And again, if we just look at what he can control, he's been a bit better than the numbers show. His ERA hovering around 4.28, but the contact quality numbers say he's actually better than that. And the 7-run line a week ago was an outlier here because the season numbers say he's better than that performance last week. So I get the math, but the lineup that did it to him is the same lineup standing in the box today. Pete Alonso, Gunnar Henderson. They're both doing damage, serious damage here finally for the Orioles. Alonso especially has been smoking the ball over the last week. They saw Woo's pitches 7 days ago, and they hit them. Shane Baz for Baltimore, well, the right-hander, 4.06 ERA. The contact quality numbers tell us the batters have been squaring him up more than what that ERA shows. So he's not really the kind of guy I want to look at in this spot. But here's the part that the price isn't accounting for. Seattle's lineup over the last couple of weeks has been one of the worst against right-handed pitching. 24th in OPS against righties, just awful. Their team level scoring over the last couple of weeks looks okay, averaging about 4 runs a game. But break it down by pitching splits, and you'll see just how bad they have hit righties going on almost 2 weeks now. So here's the picture. Brian, the better pitcher, going up against the lineup, well, that just lit him up a week ago, taking on Shane Baz, who is the lesser of the two arms here, and he's facing a lineup, well, that can't hit righties. So there's no value to me in laying a $155, $160 on a pitcher that this lineup already beat up once. And even though his underlying metrics are good, the Oriole hitters have already seen him. The value in this game is backing the O's in the first 5. You can get them opened up at about plus 120, 125. I would play that up to plus 115. I think there's value in the dog in the first 5 in this one. Now, before we break down our last game, let me tell you what's going on over at WagerTalk.com. I do have a night game here tonight locked and loaded for you on my page at WagerTalk.com. We won again last night, now on a 5-0 run and going on 45 days here. We're hitting 61%. We're up nearly 45 units in that time frame, guys. So we are crushing it. Opportunity knocks. Great time for you to head over to my page at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/JR. Hop on board. You can get that 3-day all access, all baseball, all plays, 3 days for $49, or the buy 3, get 3 for $69. All sports, all plays, and they both include the 5% max bet. So take advantage over at WagerTalk.com. All right, let's dive into this final game here tonight where we're going to head to Kansas City, where we got the Royals laying about $130 with the better pitcher on the mound, at least on paper. But the lineup on the other side has been one of the best in baseball, guys, especially against left-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. And Kansas City's bats against lefties themselves, average at best. So at this price, you're being asked to back the better overall pitcher, even though he has to face the better lineup of hitters. You'll see how that holds up here, because Noah Cameron for the Royals has been good. The lefty's got about a 4.11 ERA on the season. The contact quality numbers basically matching what his ERA is. And again, if we just look at what the pitcher can control, he's been a tick better than what the numbers are showing. He's basically pitching like an average Major League Baseball starter, maybe just a little bit better than that. On the other side, Matthew Liberatore for St. Louis, also a lefty. He's hovering around a 4.71 ERA, and every underlying metric says he's actually worse than that. Contact quality is rough. He has been pitching like a 5+ ERA arm. So the pitching edge to me is real, and it belongs to Kansas City. And that's the case for laying minus 130, 135 here. But over the last couple of weeks, I told you guys, St. Louis is the 8th best lineup in baseball against left-handed pitching. Herrera, Nootbaar, both swinging hot bats. Crooks coming along behind them. They get a left-hander tonight, and even though Cameron is the better of the two arms, this is the exact split where St. Louis has been doing damage. Kansas City against left-handed pitching, even bad ones, over the last couple of weeks, hovering around 16th in the league, kind of right in the middle. Although Bobby Witt, Lane Thomas have been really good lately, the whole team and lineup as an average against lefties is average, maybe just a bit below. So the price that you'll be paying to back Kansas City here is for the better pitcher in the first 5, because the offensive matchup says, I don't think so here. The better offense is St. Louis. And to me, my experience, when the arm edge and the lineup edge point in opposite directions, the lineup edge usually wins, especially when we're talking about middle to back end rotation arms, and especially in the first five. St. Louis at plus money, plus 105 is where I lean. A little smaller play here than the other two, but to me, the dog is the right side to be on. I'd play that up to about minus 105. So there you got it here, guys. Twins first five, back in Joe Ryan. Orioles first five at plus money. I think there's issues with Brian Wu. And the Cardinals in the first five at plus money. And again, don't forget, visit my page at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/JR. We've got a play locked and loaded tonight, 5-0 on the week already. I've got a free play locked and loaded also for you guys, all available over on my page at wagertalk.com. Hit that like and subscribe button, guys. We certainly appreciate you taking the time to hang with us. And don't forget, we'll have another edition of First Five for you tomorrow, because it's not all about the full game lines. Plenty of value, especially with starting pitching in the first five. We want to eliminate variance. We don't want to add it. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of that here. So come back and join us again tomorrow for another edition of First Five. Cash those tickets tonight, guys. We'll see you again then.